Your loneliness is not an excuse to allow people access to you who do not respect you. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel where we talk all about self-improvement, personal development, fitness, wellness, basically anything that we need to know in order to level up. So if you are interested in any of those, do not forget to subscribe so that we can stay connected and embark on this leveling up journey together. So a lot of us are lonely, and it is so tempting to let people into our lives who do not add any sort of value just to fill that void. But it is not worth it, especially if there is a reason why you broke ties with that person in the first place. And a lot of the times, like, those reasons are valid. So a few days ago, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. You know, I've been going through it a little. I opened up about my situation a little bit on this channel, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But just know that my mental health has been not great. Horrible. I had a breakdown that was so bad. I have BPD as well. So whenever I have, there's me feeling sad, there's me feeling depressed and having a little bit of a depression episode. And I can manage that, but then there's this other side where I literally just crash out and I feel like I need to destroy everything around me. So many overwhelming feelings at once, and that is what I had after I kind of rode down that high. I broke down because I felt like I had destroyed my life in a sense, which I hadn't. I was just being super dramatic. Again, the BPD makes me feel things that are not actually real like that sometimes, but it felt like that, and I wanted nothing more than to just call someone, than to be comforted, than to vent. Okay, I'm back. I had to step out because my dog was hurting a bird, or something was going on, but the bird is fine. I was petting him, we were bonding, and I was getting ready to put him in a box. We were gonna go buy bird food, and all of a sudden it just flew away, and I was like, okay, bye, I guess. Anyways, I felt so lonely because I wanted to vent to somebody, I wanted to talk to somebody, and I just had no one. I couldn't think of a single person to call other than my boyfriend, but at that time, I didn't really want his help. I don't know. I love my boyfriend and he always calms me down, but in this particular moment, I just wanted a friend, not a romantic partner. And anyways, I started questioning my life choices, because at the end of the day, I was the one who put myself in this particular predicament where I didn't have anyone to call. And I was so tempted to call my old friends and mend our relationships. Not at that particular time. I told myself oh, tomorrow I'm going to try to fix these relationships because I don't want to feel alone. I miss having friends to call. And I started thinking a lot about the good times that I had with certain friends. And so after my little crash out, after I calmed myself down, I really sat with that plan, sat with that thought. And I realized, the more and more that I thought about it, I realized that that is actually not the right approach. That is actually, it would feel right at the moment, but it wouldn't be the best approach for me. I stopped being friends with these people for certain reasons. It wasn't just that we just stopped being friends out of nowhere, we grew distant. No, it was either we were heading in different directions where we kind of outgrew each other, where by me continuing to hang out with these people, I was putting my goals, my life on pause, and not even on pause. I was kind of self-destructing myself. Why? Because there's some friends that I outgrew that were just continuing to have really bad, unhealthy habits that I didn't want to have anymore, that I was trying hard to let go of. Or there were friends who flat out disrespected me, continuously disrespected me, who refused to stand up for me, to stick by me in certain situations, who wanted to be my friend but also didn't want to be my friend completely. And these relationships were just not serving me. These friendships were not living up to my standards of friends. and I left them for that particular reason. So yes, although I yearn for that sense of community, that closeness that you have with lifelong friends, I cannot allow my loneliness or the yearn for that to kind of make me forget my worth, kind of make me settle, kind of make me allow those people back into my life who have already shown me that they will not meet my standard. Giving your time and your energy to people who do not value you, like that's the ultimate form of self-betrayal. So I was talking to a friend of mine long ago when we were still friends, and you know, she is a little bit older. She's had a rough life in the sense that she's has kids, and she chose to have these kids with people who just shouldn't never have been fathers. And her eldest daughter and her, they're pretty close. She was a teen mom when she had her, so they're pretty close. That daughter moved away to college, so now she lives with her two youngest children, very young, very young children, where she can't have that relationship that she had with her older daughter, where, you know, maybe at some points she even confided in her older daughter. Maybe she viewed her as a friend, as a sister maybe. She can't have that relationship with the little ones because they're kids, they're babies. And the older daughter moved away to college. She doesn't have time right now to see her mother. She doesn't really have time for the life that she has here because she's busy building her own life away in college. She lives now very far, and she decided to take back someone who beat her, somebody who humiliated her, somebody who lowered her self-worth, who made her feel less than, time and time and time again. She decided to take him back, and the daughter was outraged. You know, she was mad. She was like, why like, why did you do this? Like, he treated you like like he already showed you who he is. Like, why are you doing this? And her response was that she got lonely. She missed being able to talk to somebody that wasn't a child. She missed having something to do on the weekends, having something to do after she got out of work, being able to just like have that relationship, have that closeness with someone. When we get older and we each have like our own little lives, it becomes harder to reach out to friends. It becomes harder to reach out to family because you start feeling in your head that you're a burden, even though that's not true a lot of the times. So who do we reach out to? Either our very close people, like our sisters, or in this case daughters, or that, or maybe like a romantic partner. And so that loneliness, that lack of companionship, that is what pushed her to settle yet again for a man who didn't deserve her time of day, a man who is now ruining her peace once again. And those are the dangers of loneliness, right? Loneliness kind of clouds your judgment. When you are feeling so alone, like you want nothing more than to find someone, find anyone. And that's when you start settling for the crumbs, the bottom of the barrel type of people, right? The people who continuously did you dirty, who are going to be back again to do you dirty again, who are hoping that you are feeling that low to take advantage of you. It'll make you remember the good times that you shared with the people who did you dirty, like the laughs, like, oh, but we were so close, we did X, Y, and Z, oh, we would always have a great time. And it kind of makes you forget all the times that they made you feel like absolute. The breakdowns, the boundaries you had to beg to be respected, the times that they cheated on you, the times that they betrayed you, the times that they made fun of you, made you feel so small. Like, it conveniently forgets that. And so those emotions are what ultimately convince you to water dead plants. It'll tempt you into taking those people back, whether it be a friend, a partner, or like whoever it is, right? Maybe family even. It'll tempt you to take them back because they feel so familiar and comforting and, oh my God, I'm not alone anymore. But doing so is like causing you so much harm. And when you are only focusing on like how lonely you feel, the scary part is that you don't even realize that you're settling. We start calling it something else. We're like, oh, it's because we're very forgiving people. Oh, it's because we're very mature. We've moved on. We let it go. Oh, that person has changed. Oh, that person has grown. Oh, that's my true love. But like, if you're moving backwards into a point of pain, into a situation that you worked really hard to get out of, like, that's not maturity. That's not growth. That's not healing. That's just living in fear. You're scared of being alone. You're scared of feeling that void. And so you're doing anything that you can to fill it, but you're not really like thinking properly, because anybody else, like from an outsider perspective, will tell you like, oh, it's much better to be alone than to be treated like shit continuously. And so a different path that you can maybe take, right? After my crash out, I came to my senses. That's the first step, right? If I would have just called them right then and there, hey, I know we had our beef, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah, and put it on me, because I was crashing out and I was feeling like shit about myself and I was feeling like shit about my life. So I would have just been like, I'm sorry I did this, I'm sorry I did that, I'm sorry I did this, and not even like ask them to take some accountability for where they went wrong. And chances are the people would have probably been like, oh, you know, it's okay, water under the bridge, like let's go somewhere, you're feeling sad, let's go hang out. And then a week later I would have been disrespected, or I would have been taken advantage of, because that is what was already happening in that relationship, right? So the first step is to not act out of like impulse. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling like extremely lonely where you're like crashing out, well, just sit with it, ride it through, because what you're feeling is temporary, especially when your emotions are that heightened. And then the next step is to just sit with that plan of reaching back out to the ex, of reaching back out to the fake friend, of reaching out back out to the group, to the family member, whoever it is, right? Think about that plan. For me, like when I sat with it, I realized, no, I'm not going to do that. That's a dumb plan. I already know how it's going to play out. And so then I decided, you know what are some things that make me feel happy? Because you can be alone and not feel lonely. Yes, sometimes you're going to be seeing like maybe a couple or maybe a group of friends, and you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I had something like that. But if you're at home crying, rocking back and forth, looking at old pictures, maybe, yeah, you're gonna feel like shit. Versus if you're at home and you're playing your favorite music and you're like cooking a new recipe, or maybe you're watching something really interesting, or you're doing something, maybe a self-care night, you're not gonna feel that shitty. Maybe sometimes you'll be like, oh fuck, I wish I had someone to do this with, but it's not gonna be the same as if you were putting yourself like in a darker place. So I decided to list out a bunch of things that brought me some sort of joy. And what I realized is that I actually haven't been doing a lot of them. Right now, I mean, if you saw like my vlogs, my latest vlog or whatever, I am working in corporate America. I've entered the rat race. I'm super thankful for that job. I am, but it's just taking up so much of my time, because I'm still a student, I'm still going to school, and I have this channel, and I'm trying to start being consistent on TikTok. So like my time is spread out so thin, and on top of that I have like a certain living situation that I'm dealing with. Like everything is just spread out so thin, like I don't have time to do everything, it feels like. And I don't have time to like, something that I like doing, for example, is like going to the park and just spending time in nature, reading a book, drawing, having a little picnic. Love doing that. I don't have time. I haven't done that in a minute. I started looking at the list full of everything that I like to do, and I'm like, I haven't done that in years, a year, months. What have I been doing to take care of myself? Like I've been living the same day over and over again. And yes, I do incorporate, for example, movement, eating healthy, going to the gym, walks, playing with my cats, all of that. I do incorporate that on my day-to-day life, and I genuinely enjoy those things. But when you start doing something every single day, and you've been doing that for the past years, it does get old. So in my head, it's like, well, no wonder I got to this place of feeling so lonely and so alone and questioning everything about my life, because I haven't been taking care of myself. Like I've been doing the minimum, and that's why I still feel like put together, but in reality, like I'm not, because you need those little outings once in a while. You need the little adventures once in a while. And I haven't been giving myself that. And so I made a plan. I'm like, well, I'm going to do something for myself, like something small, at least once a day. And if I have time, like something medium, at least once a week, right? And by small, it's literally like watching a show or reading a book before going to bed, instead of just ending my day, coming home from the gym, rushing, showering, going to sleep, and waking up the next day and gotta go on my walking pad, gotta get to work, gotta do my homework. I'm gonna give myself some downtime whether it be like an hour or 30 minutes, whatever I can fit in at the end of the night, I'm going to give it to myself. So lately I've been watching a show before going to bed. I've also been reading on my breaks at work. Like, I truly started using my breaks to just walk before I would walk, and I'd be editing a TikTok video. And now it's like, no, like, you're going to enjoy your walk. You're going to reflect on your life, and you're just going to look at the scenery, because that's healing for me. So setting up those rules where I'm implementing very small things, like, that doesn't take a lot of energy. And like, yes, I can fit in 30 minutes somewhere, right? And then this weekend, like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have a little picnic with my boyfriend. But like, I don't need to have my boyfriend. It's because I'm in a relationship. Like, I'm lucky to be in a relationship. But like, if you're not in a relationship, like, by all means, like, you can do this by yourself too. You can go, I used to do this all the time. I used to go to the beach because I live in SoCal, and I used to draw or listen to a podcast and just get a book, like something at the beach, and I would do, like, dedicate a whole day or like half a day for that. So that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. And I also decided that on those particular days, like those weeks, we all have those weeks where it's like every day feels like a drag, every day feels a little miserable, low key, like everything is going wrong, and then you just keep it pushing and you keep it pushing, and you're like, I'm not going to listen to you because I don't have time. And then come one day where you just lose it. We all have those days. So whenever I'm noticing that pattern of me just continuously having a bad day and a bad day and a bad day, like, I already know it's because it's going to lead to a crash out eventually. Like, I don't know when, but it will lead to that. So during those periods, like, I am going to get even more things from that list to further treat myself. And this is what's going to help me fill my cup, help me feel less empty, kind of fill that void. 100% no, because it's human nature to want companionship. But at least for now, until I find my people, because I'm sure that eventually I will find my people, but at the moment I don't have a lot of friends. So until I find those friends, I know that at least I got myself. I'm continuously taking care of myself. I'm doing things that I enjoy, and I can say that I know I will find my people one day when I'm ready for them. Because truth be told, because I don't have a lot of time, like, I don't have a lot of time to even like dedicate to my friends. So I would actually hate if I met like really cool people that I could call friends right now at this time, because I just don't have the time to nurture those relationships. And I know that the more you keep filling your cup, the more likely it is that you will like come to the vibration of like allowing people who are also happy, who are also independent, who also have their life together, who have the similar goals, or who are living the life that you want to live, because like you're going to be able to meet them there. That is how I met my boyfriend. He's like a wonderful person. He's actively working towards himself. Like, we're very like-minded. But if I would have met him 5 years ago, when I was a mess, when I was really immature, when I had done no inner work, no like itch to even like improve myself or whatever, when I was just like super immature and like super young, it wouldn't have worked. Versus I met him a little later in life, which not even that late in life, but I met him 3 years ago now, and it was luckily at a point where it's like we were both mature to form a healthy relationship. We both knew where we wanted to head. We were both actively working towards our goals. And I'm so glad that happened. But like, let's say even like if he was already there and I would have just kept operating at this like vibration of going out every day, not taking care of myself, like he probably wouldn't even have been interested in me, or I would have brought him down with me, or like we were both right here, but now we're both like right here and we're going up, you know? Like, so the more that you put towards yourself and taking care of yourself, like, you're not gonna have that itch to settle. It's kind of like right now where I had that little moment of weakness because of my emotions. I was spiraling, where I wanted to go back, go with the friends, my old friends who didn't meet my standards. But now that I am a little bit more level-headed, I'm like, no, like I don't even have that itch anymore, right? Like I'm looking forward to the activities that I want to do. I'm looking forward to achieving my own personal goals. And I know like the only people I have space for are the people who are headed up, the people who are still like trying to meet me here, the people who are still not taking care of themselves, who don't know what they want to do in life. Like I truly do not have space for those types of people. So some key takeaways: loneliness is absolutely fucking real. And yes, it's gonna make you feel alone and like something is missing from your life, but it is never a big enough reason to lower your standards. There is always something that we can do. We feel super lonely, super suicidal, all of that. Like, go to therapy. And like I'm telling you, because I've experienced those thoughts. And my solution in the past too has been like, oh, well, I'm feeling super alone and super sad. Let me go back to the toxic ex. Or let me go pick up this new situationship who treats me like shit. And this is like getting off topic and shit, but it's like the same thing. That is never the solution. The solution is to like get better, to focus on yourself, pour more into yourself. A lot of the times, unless it was like a petty, stupid, silly little fight, like the people that you cut off were cut off for a reason. So if you plan on letting them back into your life because you just feel lonely, you just miss having friends or whatever it is, like really think about it. Are you okay with being treated in the way that you were treated in the past? Were you really like respected? Was that really a good influence? Did that person really bring value to your life? If the answer is yes, okay, then maybe reach out to them. But if the answer is no, then like, what are you doing? Temporary discomfort is better than long-term damage. And this could be a whole other video in itself, but like really think about it. For example, with my friend, and I also have so many people in my life like this, right? They seek out that temporary comfort of like, oh, being in a relationship, being able to be all lovey-dovey with someone for like half the day, even if the other half the day they're like fighting or whatever, right? But you're seeking that out, and because your actions have consequences, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you end up having a family with that person, and now it's like so much harder to get out. Think about it that way. Like, what you seek out, even if it's just like me continuing to be friends with people who I shouldn't be friends with because of my temporary comfort, which is like, I don't want to feel alone right now at this very second, so let me go hit up some of my friends who shouldn't be my friends. 20 years down the line, if I'm still friends with them, like, what do you think that will do to like my self-esteem? And then also, I'll never be able to find friends who are actually deserving of my time because I'm so like busy pouring into that friendship. So operate with that in mind. Stop thinking that, oh, what I do today is not going to have any consequences or whatever. YOLO, live in the moment. I'm going to have fun for the now. No, because what you do today will directly impact what your life looks like in 10, 5, 10, 20 years from now. And remember that you deserve relationships rooted in mutual respect, love, and trust, not in desperation. Because the relationships that are formed out of desperation or out of feeling lonely, or if they're not pretty, they're not cute, they start being a little too intertwined or dependent of each other, and that's not cute. That's never cute. That's where like the abuse comes in. It doesn't even have to be like physical, like emotional abuse. It's messy. Last thing, remember that being alone and being lonely, two different things. You can be alone and full of peace and full of comfort when you take care of yourself and when you're busy pouring into yourself and really pouring into yourself, not getting caught in the trap like I was, where you're just working for your future, you're just taking care of your future self, and you're busy working and doing this and doing this and doing this because you're looking out for your future self. No, like, you also have to be taking care of who you are right now, which is what this taught me, right? Because when you start doing that, and when you start showing up as a friend to yourself, by taking yourself out on dates, by taking yourself out on little adventures, by talking to yourself and talking through like your emotions, you're not going to feel lonely, or that lonely where you have to like really just like fill a void where you feel like the world is ending. Like, it's never going to get to that point because, you know, you have yourself to rely on. Okay, I'm going to put my glasses back on because I'm like trying to read my notes and it's just like stressing me out. I can't. But remember that if you're feeling lonely right now, I completely get it. But I want you to remember that it is completely okay to like sit with that feeling so that you can think about the things that you want to do and the plan that you want to create to get yourself out of that like loneliness. It's okay to crave that connection. It's human nature, but it's not okay to trade your peace for a surface level connection. It's not okay to do that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was so close. I was so close to making a fool out of myself and calling people who I shouldn't be calling because I just felt so alone. And if I wouldn't have allowed myself to just sit with that emotion, sit with my loneliness, and like do something else, I think that night, well, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I actually just started working on like a little business endeavor. And I mean, it calmed me down. And then the next day I was able to, when I again was calm, I was able to really dissect my plan. And I realized that no, I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. No, I'm not going to allow myself to basically be putting myself in a situation where I am going to get disrespected. Do not do that. And that is why I wanted to make that video, because I know right now we're all probably, or not all, but it's so easy to feel lonely in this world right now. But that's not enough. That's not a good enough excuse to allow yourself to get disrespected. Do not fall for that trap. But other than that, that was all that I had for you guys today. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope this taught you a thing or two.